Hello, YouTube and X. It's your main man, BTM, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network. And this live stream is a Zebec Network partners with Anchorage Digital institutions. Something interesting just happened in the crypto payment space. The Zebec Network has partnered with Anchorage Digital, a federally chartered crypto bank in the United States. If you're not familiar with Anchorage, this is one of the most trusted institutions, custody partners in crypto. And this partnership could potentially open the doors for institutional investors access to Zebec's ecosystem. We're going to break down what's the Zebec Network's actually doing, why Anchorage Digital matters, and whether this partnership could impact ZBCN's future. So, welcome to the stream. If you're new, we cover crypto markets, emerging blockchain projects, and major partnerships shaping the future of digital finance. Do you currently hold a Zebec? Put a yes or no in the chat if you're actually holding a ZBCN. And let me open up the screen share and see what we can see. Looking for, okay, yeah, our sponsor here. Grab the sponsor and let me start that. What up, Cherry? What do you think this bull run will bring realistically? Currently, I'm still researching that. I don't know 100%, and I'm trying to figure out because I actually invested in a Zebec myself, so I'm not going to fudge you guys or lead you astray. I want to get you a good number, but I don't usually try to give numbers because if I give them, if it exceeds the number, you guys are saying great. If it doesn't, you guys are saying I don't know what I'm talking about. So it's kind of a lose lose situation, right? So I try not to get too deep in that number part anyway. Let me see. Let me start the screen share. And people really haven't been talking about Zebec. I've noticed that the folks tuning in is going down, even the content creators. There's less people talking about Zebec. And I also think it's pretty good to talk about these projects because when it blows up, you're like, well, you wasn't talking about it until now. And now it's blown up. Now everybody's talking about it. Like, nah, bro, I've been talking about it the whole time. It has been trading sideways for a long time. So I think the pump is coming. I thought it would do something with the announcement of the super app and with everything else they have been doing. But for some reason, Zebec, it ain't pumping. So this is Caleb and Brown. Shout out to Caleb and Brown. Caleb and Brown is a crypto brokerage. So if you're new to crypto and trying to get in, Caleb and Brown can help you navigate the exciting world of crypto. And they give you a one-on-one personal broker, which helps along the way. And they also self custody your crypto, so you won't get lost or have to worry about passwords and key phrases and keeping up. Because if you get locked out of your crypto and you don't have the key phrase, you kind of not get your crypto. So if you're new to crypto and custodying, it's probably good to start with someone that can help you custody the crypto because once you lose it, it's lost. And a lot of people, as myself, I've lost crypto and wallets that I can't get to. So if you are not familiar, it would be to your benefit to start with someone that can help custody your crypto. So this is the bubbles. Looks like Caspa is up 8.2. I might do a Caspa stream later. Make a note of that. Where's my pen? Got too much notes here. Caspa's up 8.2% to 3 cents. Radian's up 0.8, Powell's up 5.5, ZK's up 2.3, Qual's up 1.3, Falcon's up 0.5, Toncon's up 1%, Flux is up 1.5, Hyperliquid's finally up 3.2 on the day, 0.2 on the hour, 18.3 on the week, 30.1 on the month, and 205 on the year. So what the freak is going on here? Near's up 1%, Metals up 3.1, XDC's up 3.3, Safe is up 3.4, Cardano is up 0.4, Jasmine's up 0.4, XVS is up 4.2. Alchemy Pay is up 4.2 to 007. Casper is up 7.4. Quant's up 1%. XPR is up 1.9 on the day, 0.9 on the hour, 2.2 on the week, down 1.8 on the month, and down 35.3 on the year to 002. Data's up 2.6. Bitcoin SC is up 2.2. Hashflow's up 1%. Polymesh is up 28% to 5 cents. Down 2.5 on the hour. Up 30.7 on the week. Up 19.5 on the month. And still down 57.9 on the year. See what else is going on here. Zcash is up 8.4. XRP's up 0.8 on the day, 0.5 on the hour, 6.5 for the week, 0.6 on the month, and down 33.9 on the year to $1.52. And XRP's lives coming up next. Helium is up 3.7. Osmosis is up 0.7. H bar is up 0.4. So I guess a relatively flat day in the market today. So looking at the big boys, Bitcoin is up 0.4 on the day, up 0.1 on the hour, up 4% on the week, up 7.5 on the month, down 10.6 on the year to 74,181. Ethereum is 2,335, up 0.9 on the day, up 0.1 on the hour, up 11.8 on the week, up 16.3 on the month, and up 23% on the year. XRP's up 0.7 on the day, 0.3 on the hour, up 6.4 on the week, up 0.7 on the month, and down 33.9 on the year. And ZBCN, our favorite payroll processor, is down 1.5 on the day, 0.2 on the hour, down 2.4 on the week, down 4% on the month, and still up 108% on the year to the 002. And for some reason, we can't get around or above the 002. Don't call it a comeback. So this is ZBCN. This is, turn that off because they're trying to bing me for the music. So ZBCN, government voting transaction fees, pay with ZBCN, ecosystem access, utility tools, staking rewards, and earn yields. So make sure you join the BTM Crypto News Network to stay current on news and events. 4 billion ZBCN already staked, and institutions are just waking up. Anchorage now secures ZBCN for tens of billions in assets. This is quiet accumulation phase. 4 billion plus ZBCN already staked. Anchorage secures ZBCN for tens of billions in assets. This is these sounds. ZBCN PayFi, real utility, real revenue, real adoption. ZBCN is now 100% unlocked. No more hidden admissions. So this is top RWA projects by social activity. Most talked about real world asset projects right now. Link is number 1 at 14.2. ZBCN's number 2 at 1 million. Okay, Link is 14.2 million. ZBCN's 1 million. Vet is 800,000. Avalanche is 600,000. ICP is 400,000. Ondo's 400,000. HBAR is 300,000. Injective is 316,000. XLM is 300,000 and EL is 75,000. It's not competing. It's completely different atmosphere at 12.2 million. So keeping it moving, this is my main man, Mr. Foresight. ZBCN payroll might be the most underrated use case in crypto. Zebec Network is building infrastructure around one of the most durable financial flows on earth. And when institutions start recognizing that, things change. Let's break it down.
Expect.
Let's see what he has to say. Let me turn this down just a smidget.
Now, those of you who've been following this channel, you know we've talked about Zebec, or even, you just go to Zebec Network, CEO Simon Babakani. He said expect some direct partnership links between Zebec Network and Canton Network. He's telling you payroll is extremely durable. Listen.
Maybe there are more companies, maybe there are more employees or less, but that shit happens without failure.
That shit happens without failure, meaning people are going to work. They are going to get paid. Hence, you have payroll. Do you see that? I've been bringing you these two all last week. I brought you Canton Network, Zebec Network for a reason, guys, for a reason. I started to drop this last week, but I said, I'll wait. Let it bake a little bit. Then I want to pull these cupcakes out and I want to hand them. You get a cupcake. You get a cupcake. All my free thinkers get cupcakes. Of course, unless you don't like baked goods.
So shout out to Mr. Foresight for that. This is Crypto God. Here is a major breadcrumb, my friends. ZBCN will be the chosen one. I did some digging last night and found something very interesting. Follow the money. Shout out to Crypto God. ZBCN network isn't moving silent. It's being backed by serious capital. Tier 1, Tier 2 VCs involved, sitting right here. Republic. Sitting right here. Sitting right there, Republic. This isn't random. This is retail hype. This is structured capital positioning early. When platforms like Republic step in, it usually means one thing: access is being built, distributions being prepared, infrastructure is being funded. ZBCN isn't a token, it's being wired into a bigger system. Drop, stab, coin. What? Republic Capital. What the freak is Republic Capital? I need to check this out. But shout out to crypto god there. So ZBCN is currently at the 002, as we mentioned previously. Going back over to the X page. Actually, what's he talking about? Dang it. Let me see here. And where'd it go? That's weird. Republic. This gets deeper. Republic just is investing, they're operating. Listed as a super validator on the Canton network. Let that sink in. This connects institutional grade infrastructure, permissioned financial rails, tokenized real world assets. What does that mean? Republic access layer, Canton institutional settlement. This is where TradFi and DeFi start to blur. And if you're not paying attention, Zebec lies right in that payments plus real time flow layers, different pieces, the same system forming. Okay, crypto guy might be onto something. We might have to dig a little deeper there, my guy. Might have to check it out there, crypto. See what you got going down, or see what's going down with this. See, you might be doing something. Shout out to Crypto God. So back over to X. This is 314 Crypto, a true visionary. Sam, which is the founder CEO, but he moved and he's just the, I guess, because let's say founder of Zebec.
Absolutely, yeah. No, that's kind of like what we're really excited about Circle, right? Because we consider ourselves like basically the one who's going to make USDC big, right? Because let's say we do 10% of US payroll, we're not sending millions, we're not sending billions. It's going to be almost like $500 billion of money, like being used, right? And that's when the real interesting use cases out of USDC will start coming out, because then a lot of transactions will start happening on chain. A lot of these real like DeFi protocols will start to see real use cases, because it's real users' money. It's not people chasing yields from one chain to another. It's people's day-to-day saving. It means it starts becoming real. The imaginary money starts to become real. Critical. Absolutely, yeah. No, that's kind of like what we're really excited about Circle, right? Because we consider ourselves.
So shout out to Sam, and this is ZBCN is supported by Anchorage, and Anchorage was actually on someone else, and I think it was, who is that? Who are these guys? XRP was talking about them actually. So, with tens of billions in assets secured, Anchorage is one of the leading crypto custodies serving institutional investors. Through Anchorage, institutionals can securely hold and manage ZBCN regulated custodies infrastructure. So if we go over here, this is the actual page for Anchorage Digital Prime. Prime built for firms that move markets. So this is trading, derivatives, settlements, custody, and staking. Some of their investors, this A16Z is freaking everywhere, man. Apollo, Blockchain Capital, GCI, Goldman Sachs, KKR, and Visa. Unrivaled regulated protections. Home to Anchorage Digital's Bank, the first federally chartered crypto bank in the U.S. and the unequivocal qualified custodian. Anchorage Digital also serves as institutional through Anchorage Digital Singapore, which is licensed by Monetary Authority of Singapore, and Anchorage Digital New York, which holds a BIT license from New York Department of Financial Services. So it's interesting. I didn't know that. And this is the supported assets. Let's see if a ZBCN is on this. So we got Ondo, Dow, Sui, Aguilar, the Graft, 1 inch, Ape Coin, Loop Spring, Lido, Compound, Manta, NFTX, Pair Swap, Starknet, Blur, Keep, Curve, CeeLo, Maple, Ribbon, Maker, OX, Synthetic, Sale, Immutable, USDC, USD, WorldCoin. I think that was it. So I guess Zebec's not been added to this quite yet. So we'll come back to that. The crypto market's currently up. Let me refresh this because I might have been from earlier. So this is CKJ's crypto news. BlackRock. Wait. Anchorage, as demand for digital assets products increase, as our footprint in the ecosystem grows, we continue to expand our network of service providers with a focus on the highest quality institutional providers. After thorough evaluation, Anchorage Digital clearly meets the standards. And this is the head of digital assets at BlackRock. So that's big, right? That is huge, actually. BlackRock is the big boy in the crypto industry, or actually in any kind of investing, right? If BlackRock's involved, you guys are going. So this is ZBCN pirates. Everyone's chasing AI narratives. Zebec is building AI payment rails, which markets understand Zebec AI plus super app plus PayFi. Zebec won't be under $1 for long. Let's go. And then keeping it moving. Zebec Network 002 plus 3.4% one day. Payments and payroll and the future of payments. This is you're still getting paid once a month. Zebec powers real-time payroll and Zebec super app. Get paid today, spend today, game over. Still getting paid once a month. Zebec powers real-time payroll and Zebec super app. Get paid today and send money. TradeFi. ZBCN pirates. Most crypto tokens do nothing. ZBCN powers an entire ecosystem. Vote, stake, build. Welcome to the Zebec financial engine. So we got voting, vote on proposals, transaction fees with paid in ZBCN, powered the ecosystem, protocol decisions, staking rewards, earn yields, ecosystem access, utilize tools, ownership, participation, and influence. And this is everyone in cryptos talking about the AI agents that can hire each other, run tasks, buy services, among other use cases, but almost no one's talking about the infrastructure they can actually need to operate. How Zebec's infrastructure can enable programmable payments for humans and AI agents. And they're correct here. No one's talking about how the AI agents will get paid. And if Zebec agents need three things to function: funding, send controls, payment rails. Without programmable money, agents' economies just are demos. I kind of ironic parts, we didn't build Zebec for AI agents, but streaming payments, treasury controls, and programmable cards, uh, originally built for real-time payroll, are exactly what agents need. So if you haven't been following these agents, right, the agents use tokens, right? You have to pay them in tokens. So if you are paying them and Zebec streams these tokens for you, I think that would be a good mix, right? Buying credit markets today means stitching together identity, underwriting logic, compliance flows, and settlements. On ARC, developers can denominate loan stablecoins. Programmable credit starts with stablecoin narrative infrastructure. And this is the Zebec Network, Zebec and Circle, ZBCN. So there's payroll, salary, AI payments. Oh, wow. AI agents can send USDC autonomously. Crowd claw routers from Block Run AI was a standout winner in the USDC Open Claw Hackathon, pushing boundaries for agentic commerce on chain. Join. Is that Simon and Vicky live on March 19th, 2 p.m. for a deep dive into pay per agent USDC wallets, autonomous models via local scoring, pay per influence, used USDC. So definitely want to check that out. And this is Circle Payments. And this is Zebec. Shout out to Ghost making that connection. ZBCN had its final token unlock March 15th. Honest is releasing Goliath March 27th. Cubic starts mining Dogecoin in April. Interesting updates. It did get better. Zebec just hired me for videos. DM me, pay me in Zebec tokens. How Zebec powers programmable payments between humans and AI agents. And this is the main man, Crypto Chrome. Bank payments were weird. Your bank can show a transfer completed before the money actually settles. That's because many systems can run batch settlement windows. New Zebec video
completed, but the person doesn't receive it until Monday. That's because the payment...
Let's see what's going on here.
Your bank balance isn't always what it looks like. Sometimes the money you see hasn't actually moved yet, and that's the reason payments sent on Friday night can take 3 days to arrive. Have you ever sent money to someone, and the app says completed, but the person doesn't receive it until Monday? That's because the payment you see isn't always the real movement of money yet. Banks call the first step posting. The actual movement happens later during something called settlement, and settlement still runs on scheduled windows, mostly during the week, so when the system closes on weekends, the real money stops moving. Now here's where the story gets interesting. Most people assume money moves instantly today. Messages move instantly, videos stream instantly, but the financial system moving trillions of dollars every day was designed decades ago, long before smartphones, in some cases, before the internet even existed, so the system still behaves a little like an old train schedule. Money only leaves the station at certain times. But new financial technology is starting to challenge that idea. Instead of waiting for settlement windows, some systems are experimenting with real-time payments, money moving the moment a transaction happens. Some companies are even exploring real-time payroll, where income flows continuously while someone works. One example is Zebec Network, which is building systems for something called streaming payroll. Instead of waiting for payday, earnings can move gradually in real time. Now imagine finishing work on a Saturday night, checking your phone, and the money is already there. No pending balance, no waiting for Monday. Which raises a bigger question. If technology can move money instantly today, why does the financial system still run on a schedule built decades ago? And if real-time payments and streaming payroll keep growing, what happens when banks no longer control when money moves? Your bank balance isn't always what it looks like. Sometimes the money...
So shout out to Crypto Chrome for that video. What up, Dave? What's going on with your fam? And a BTM Crypto Newsnet. Guess what? New mom, I hope you were able to move your XRP off chain. Hope everything worked out well for you there. This is another quick video. I've been supporting ZBCN since the early days, and OG here. It's been incredible watching ZBCN grow as an idea into what is today. Proud to have been here since the beginning. Exciting to see its next move. And this is the video from last year almost. So shout out to Crypto Chrome.
Companies are using it. The rails are live now, and you've heard of XRP and Stellar when it comes to cross-border payments. But what if I told you there's another player, already moving over $500 million, and barely anyone's paying attention? It's called Zebec, and its pilot program, Emida, might be the biggest hidden opportunity in Web3 today. Here's what's happening. Zebec's Emida program is already processing real-world payments between the US and Mexico. This isn't a white paper dream, it's actually working. Companies are using it. The rails are live. Now, Zebec is expanding. Markets like Thailand and Nepal are next, opening the door to a $50 billion opportunity. Even a small slice of that could massively boost activity across the Nautilus network and increase demand for the ZBCN token. But there's more. Emida already powers over 50,000 point-of-sale systems, reaching more than 3 million monthly users. Think of it like a quiet payment superhighway, built while the world was looking the other way. Here's a question. How many crypto projects are already top 5 in telecom transaction processing and still completely under the radar? Now let's talk about Zebec Multisig. It's a multi-signature treasury tool designed for DAOs, crypto firms, and enterprises that need secure, shared control over their funds, like a group safe that only opens when everyone turns their key. Every transaction on Multisig uses ZBCN as gas, and a portion of that token is burned. Since ZBCN is deflationary, more usage means less supply over time, and when supply shrinks while demand grows, price can follow. Here's another question. Is the market asleep on Zebec, or are we just early enough to see what others don't? From 3 million users to multi-country expansion, this isn't just a payment tool. It's a movement to bank the unbanked and power global transactions without middlemen. Remember, this post is brought to you by the Crypto Chrome. Like, follow, share, and repost this video if you believe that crypto is the future, and the future is now.
So shout out to Crypto Chrome. Yes, I did. Woohoo! Thank you so much for your help. Come to find out, I just needed to hit submit. Well, new mom, better safe than sorry, right? I definitely would rather you ask and make sure you do it right than lose your crypto. Because I personally have lost crypto several times trying to figure it out. So definitely better you ask than lose out. Oh yeah, so crypto market did refresh this and never came back. Crypto market is 2.54 trillion, up 0.55% today. CMC 20 is $154.33, up 0.74. Fear and greed is neutral. Uh-oh. Finally out of extreme fear. Oh my gosh. Altcoin season's 49, and this is the furthest I've seen it away from Bitcoin dominance. Crypto average RSI is 57.63, getting closer to overbought. I think it was 60 something yesterday, and that explains all the green in the market. And looks like there's more green in the market today. And moving forward, currently ZBCN is 0.0020, down 0.74, which was weird. Market cap. Okay, so market cap is back over 200 million, so we're good. 202.1 million, up 20.28. 24-hour trading volume 6.4 million, up 2.69. Money use meant trusting institutions to control access, fees, and decisions. Crypto flip that model. Finance bull. Crypto facts today. ZBCN is the native governance and utility token for the Zebec. Utility token, governance power, transaction fees, staking, and rewards, and ecosystem access. Bitcoin's currently passing significant geopolitical stress test, while traditional equalities have struggled with volatility due to escalating Middle East tensions and oil prices hitting $100. Bitcoin has shown remarkable resilience by claiming the 72,000 level. This divergence marked a clear fight to decentralization as investors look for assets that operate outside the centralized political risk. So keeping it moving. This is a ZBCN. Currently, we are at 97,200 holders. In the last 4 hours, we picked up 31, 12 hours, 43, for the day, 95, for 3 days, 205, for the week, 451, for 2 weeks, 962, and for the month, 2,441, which is good, but I'd rather be back in the 3,000 and thousands for the month and the 90 days. So for the 15-minute chart, we're 59.06 RSI. RSI base moving average is 44.7. So we're in overbought territory. Let's see here. Blue is above red, so it's bullish, and we're building volume on the 15-minute. On the 45 minutes, there's a green candle. RSI is 50. And we're losing volume on the 45-minute, and it looks bearish on the 45-minute chart. On the 2-hour chart, we're definitely bearish territory, losing volume. RSI is back into oversold territory. RSI is under the RSI base moving average, and there's a couple of green candles on the 2-hour. And there's a green candle on the 4-hour at the 002. RSI is below the RSI base moving average. And we're bearish on the 2-hour, and we're losing volume there as well. Let's go back to why the ZBCN Anchorage Digital Partnership matters. Institutional grade crypto custody. Anchorage Digital is one of the most trusted institutional crypto custody, operates the first federally chartered crypto bank in the U.S. This means it provides services like secure custody for crypto assets, institutional trading and settlement, regulatory compliance, and infrastructure. Institutional investors often require regulated custody before they can hold a crypto asset. So ZBCN, supported by Anchorage, it becomes easier for institutional investors to participate. To institutional access to ZBCN tokens. I'll just put this over here for you guys. When a project integrates with custody like Anchorage, hedge funds, asset managers, and family offices, large investors can safely hold tokens under regulated custody. This is important because many institutions cannot self-custody tokens directly. What are your thoughts on the XRP lending pool? I hear people planning to hold their XRP forever and just lend it out to lending pools and earn interest. That's what I was thinking as well, but we can pick that up on the XRP live that's coming up next. Anchorage operates under U.S. federal oversight and regulation framework. This adds layers of compliance, security, credibility to any crypto project connected to its infrastructure. For smaller projects like Zebec, this signals legitimacy to larger investors. Why could it be bullets for Zebec? This partnership helped Zebec in 3 major ways. Institutional trust. Being associated with a regulated crypto bank increases credibility. Potential capital inflows. Large investors need qualified custodians before investing. Integration into financial systems. Custody and compliance infrastructure is required for real adoption. Some analysts believe custody partners are the first step towards institutional adoption in crypto. Real reality checks. Custody partner alone doesn't actually increase price. For it to become fully bullish, Zebec needs real payment adoption, growing transaction volume, partnerships with companies or banks, ecosystem development, and custody partnership and infrastructure not demand by themselves. The bottom line, Zebec and Anchorage digital partnership is good sign because it connects Zebec to institutional infrastructure. It allows regulated custody of ZBCN. It improves credibility in financial ecosystems, but for the real impact depends on whether institutional investors actually start using it. So, with that said, let's go to who is this? Crypto Neptunes real quick to see what he's saying about.
Hello, this is Crypto Neptune, and in today's video, we're going to break down the ZBCN and Anchorage connection and how this connection could offer additional support for ZBCN in the future. And if you could do me a favor, give the video a like, leave any comments below, and subscribe to the channel, I'd greatly appreciate it. So it says here in this post, ZBCN is supported by Anchorage. With tens of billions in digital assets secured, Anchorage is one of the leading crypto custodians serving institutional investors. Through Anchorage, institutions can securely hold and manage ZBCN within regulated custody infrastructure. So to me, this is a pretty big deal because if you are partnering with Anchorage and the who's who have partnered with Anchorage and they're holding and trusting crypto projects are trusting Anchorage to hold tens of billions in digital assets, it's a big deal. And for ZBCN to be in the mix, that lets me know that Anchorage sees something big in them. You know, and a little bit about Anchorage is, again, it's for institutional investors. It's the same thing. So they have 24/7, 365 days of trading, and that's pretty much the standard with crypto. And, you know, if you look down here, there was some interesting information. It says select from 400 plus crypto assets supported for trading. Yeah, so that's a big deal. So for Zebec to be incorporated in 400 plus crypto assets on this platform is a big deal. And it gives additional exposure for Zebec in a totally different platform. So that's the thing. You want ZBCN to be accessible everywhere. And this is what this partnership, that's why this partnership is so important. And so a little bit more information about it. Institutional grade custody unlocks big money. Yeah, so that's what we want. Like when ZBCN starts going on a parabolic run, institutions are going to be welling in and they're going to be wanting a piece of ZBCN. It's going to be slowly, then suddenly. Anchorage is a federally chartered U.S. crypto bank that custodies tens of billions in hedge funds, banks, and corporations. So ZBCN now fits inside infrastructure big players already trust. Yeah, so this takes it even further. We're talking about hedge funds. We're talking about banks, corporations. That's where the big money is, because when big money comes into anything, whether it's in stocks or whether it's in crypto, hedge fund guys, they're not going to go in small. They're going to go in with size. They're going to make sure that they get a big bag of ZBCN. So definitely an eyebrow raising moment there. And it says here, this gives institutions a compliant, insured, and operational secure way to hold ZBCN instead of relying on retail level wallets or exchanges. Yeah, you don't have to deal with the whole hot wallet or exchanges. It just gives them an easier access to ZBCN, and that's what we want. Again, in my eyes, this is a plus because the more institutions that you can involve, like Deutsche Bank, like a Anchorage Digital, Bloomberg was another one that was mentioned here earlier in the year. Once you get more and more of those on board, that's everything because that just brings more visibility to ZBCN and more people are going to know about it. So it's once your grandma starts talking about ZBCN, then you know that it's something is happening. And it says here, massive legitimacy signal for ZBCN. Anchors run strict due diligence before listing any asset. So adding ZBCN is a third-party validation that Zebec meets institutional standards for security, governance, and regulatory alignment. Yeah, it just gives us that much more legitimacy that this project is the real deal. And that is everything that Zebec has been doing from a compliance perspective, doing all that and getting all the regulatory license. All this stuff matters. And it says here, being supported along blue chip assets on Anchor's platform instantly upgrades Zebec's perceived quality to serious infrastructure, not just another DeFi token. Yeah, and that's what it is. And you have an asset right now in ZBCN that is trading sideways. So this is a great opportunity because a lot of times people complain about, well, why wasn't I told about ZBCN when it was early? And see, a lot of people, they only talk about a project when it's just green candles and it's just scorching red hot. But we want to talk about it when it's been trading sideways or there's been a pullback on the price, because that gives people an opportunity. Like when you want to know about something when the price is low as opposed to the price being high. That's why I continue to talk about it. And I continue to talk about it because Simon, as a CEO, is driven and he will talk to anybody and make deals with anybody. So this project and he's shown that he's been able to execute with the super app on desktop. Mobile is right around the corner, and they have that XRP conference coming up soon. So with a big announcement. But yeah, so it's trading alongside of blue chips, which is awesome. And then it says here, a bridge between DeFi and real world payroll. Zebec's core payroll is real-time streaming payroll and payments. Anchors gives enterprises a regulated way to fund treasuries, stream payroll, and move cross-border value using ZBCN.
What up, Bugatti? What's going on with your fam? What up, BTM, big bro? What's going on with your fam? Hadn't seen you in a while. Zebec to $1 make you holler. Me love you long time. Ha! Stop it, bro. But where you been, bro? I thought you was a victim to the shenanigans in Houston with the spring break thing, man. I didn't know what happened to you. But thanks for joining. Let's get back to the video.
Yeah, so the institutions get access to all of that, streaming payroll, payments, and it gives those enterprises again a regular way to fund treasuries and stream payroll. So anytime ZBCN partners with anybody, you have to dig deeper. Sure, you know the ZBCN is the underlying asset, but we also have to factor in the payroll aspect of it and how that can impact Anchorage on their side too, and how they can participate in those payroll streams and cross-border payments. It says here, streaming tech plus bank-grade custody, exactly what CFOs and compliance teams need before touching blockchain-based payroll or treasury flows. Yep, so that is exactly it. All that here is what we need. And again, you know, support from a top custodian is a green light for other custodians, exchanges, and fintech partners who often look to Anchorage's list as a quality and compliance filter. Yeah, so they have partnered with Anchorage Digital So now that is a green light for other institutions to partner with ZBCN. And this is how you lay the foundation, and it just continues to build and build and build. Yep. So this could accelerate more listings, on-ramps, and integrations that pull Zebec deeper into institutional and neobank stack over time. Yep. Again, you with Zebec Network, they are building when price is down, when price is sideways, when price is up, they just continue to build. So that shows strength for me. And then structural tailwind for ZBCN demand. Once ZBCN can be safely custodied at scale, it becomes viable as an asset in institutional portfolios and as a utility token for high volume payroll and payment rails. As real businesses adopt Zebec's rails, Anchorage support lets tens of hundreds of millions of dollars flow into the token within control regulated framework. Yeah, that's essentially it. Because with Zebec, you know that they have the payroll by the second, but it's also has a sense of privacy, and they have the privacy rails built in, and that's what big institutions want. So this is the perfect storm for ZBCN. And if we go over again, like I mentioned before, it has been kind of trading sideways. ZBCN has been trading sideways, and kind of looking at it over a month. Yeah, they had like a little peak up here at 0.0022. But ever since then, it's really just kind of just been trading sideways, to be honest. And current price is 0.0020, down 4.91%. Well, let's look at the 24 hours. Yep, down 0.93%, $200 million market cap, and 6.5 million in trading volume over the last 24 hours. And yeah, so there you have it. And let's see. And it says here, ZBCN, do you smell that? It smells like Zebec. And this is by Jesus, King of Kings. That's what he put there. So I hope you gained some value from this video, as the partnership with Anchorage gives the institutional green light. Could there be more in the future? Only time will tell.
So shout out to Crypto Neptune and that summary. And he's right. Only time till network integration with AI can be a game changer. And this is AA. Let's see what he has to say about the AI.
Zebec, once again, it is in the highlight, and today's topic is about a potential AI integration, how AI is integrated into crypto, Zebec once again being in the spotlight, and how this can push Zebec to potentially $2 plus in the upcoming year or years. So from private payments to AI native blockchains on and tokenized equities, this week shows how fast crypto is merging with real world finance and next gen tech. This time it's Zebec. So Zebec Leo card launches for private crypto payments. Zebec has launched the Leo card, enabling users to spend Leo directly in the real world with built-in privacy and no bridging required. So spend Leo directly via Zebec Super App. Of course, you guys already know the Zebec Super App has launched. I think it's launching soon for iOS and Android as well, which is very, very huge. MasterCard acceptance across global merchants, zero knowledge privacy for balances and transactions, upcoming US DCX and USAD stablecoin support. By combining zero knowledge privacy with global payment rails, Zebec is pushing crypto spending closer to real world adoption. And this is what we're talking about, right? Mass adoption for crypto, mass adoption for Zebec, and we're likely, or yeah, we're going to climb that ladder close to that $2 point that we are. Honestly, I know you guys are saying that $2 could be a far stretch, but we've seen coins like XRP do the same in just 1 year, maybe in a few months, right? And why couldn't Zebec follow suit, right? With so much being offered with Zebec, right? I mean, if you talk about the last few months on how horrible the markets were, we've seen how stable this project was, right? Stability was absolutely phenomenal, right? The community is willing to hold a project, stake it. We know that 10% of the supply is already staked, which is creating incentives for users, right? With other projects not offering incentives like that, people don't want to hold a project, especially in a time when the markets are rough. They want to earn something, and here you go. We have Zebec that's offering you something, which is absolutely phenomenal because it's still ranked 140 on CoinMarketCap. Hopefully, it can break into the top 100, and that will be absolutely phenomenal, right? We already have massive marketing that's happening for Zebec. This is again happening with Tangem. They're broadcasting the ads for Zebec in these massive Bundesliga games, right? If you're watching soccer, we have Bayern and Bayer Leverkusen. Last time they had the Bayern and Borussia Dortmund as well. The games were being shown there. But let's go back to this AI topic right here, right? ZBCN Man makes a great post. The agentic AI economy is coming and it needs money rails. Most people in crypto are completely missing what's happening right now. Everyone's focused on AI models, but the real opportunity is in the models. It's the money layer of AI. Autonomous AI agents will need to pay for compute, pay for data, pay for APIs, pay other agents, allocate capital, stream revenue, and hire humans. And none of that works with bank transfers, ACH, and credit cards. AI doesn't wait two to 3 days for settlement. AI operates every second. That means the next economy needs real-time programmable money. And that's where Zebec comes in. And that's exactly what they've been building for years. Streaming payments, money that moves per second instead of per transaction. Now combine that with Zebec's AI, ZAI, and now you start to see the bigger picture. AI agents that can run financial strategies, that's massive. Manage portfolios, again, that's absolutely massive. Pay for infrastructure, execute services, stream payments globally. This is machine-to-machine finance. And if this vision plays out, Zebec doesn't just become a payment company. It becomes a financial of agentic economy. Now imagine the partnerships that will absolutely break if the internet if they happen, right? So they have massive companies like this, Nvidia, Microsoft, Coinbase, Tesla, Apple, Google, Meta, and I imagine like the incorporation of Zebec's payroll into these massive companies, what that will do to Zebec, right? We have Zebec in the the epicenter of everything, and we have massive multi-billion dollar corporations all around it that could potentially use Zebec's services, the financial layer for AI. That's absolutely exciting, guys. I mean, the future, we don't know what it entails, but we know that we're heading into that AI sort of future where things are becoming autonomous, and projects that are here to solve these real world issues in the financial sector, that are providing you transparency, that are providing you with payments in real time. That's where the future is heading. No longer did to wait 2-3 weeks for your pay or even a month. You're getting paid in real time, and it's absolutely phenomenal, right? Like, we know the mission for Zebec, what they're here to do. They're absolutely here to take over. They've been partnering up with massive companies. We've seen it. Major partnerships, right? Every single month they're announcing new partnerships, new acquisitions. We're waiting, of course, for the big dog listings. Coinbase on Binance. We haven't got that yet because the volume has been pretty slow, right? Like it's down to $6 million. But there are plans for buybacks as well as burns, which is very, very exciting. That's happening in the near future, which ultimately will cut the supply, right? Like the less there is of Zebec circulating, the more desirable it becomes and the more valuable it becomes. So what you're seeing right now, that 1/10 of a penny, is absolutely not realistic or a clear depiction of what it's truly valued as of today. More like I personally, again, not financial advice, but I personally see Zebec being traded for more than $2. If you guys agree, give this video a like. As you know, I make daily crypto content, and Zebec is one of my favorite projects that I love to cover. It has a great community, it has a great future. And what do you guys think? Do you think Zebec can hit that $2 as the market corrects? We see the pump for Bitcoin. Hopefully things settle down as well in the Middle East. Those tensions of world war. Guys, we should be back in our crypto glory days. Catch you guys on my next one. Take care.
So shout out to AA, and this is the last one. This is Lee the Captain. I know you hate this guy, but let's see what he's talking about. Shout out to Lee.
ZBCN, in my opinion, plays quite an important role when it comes to the Zebec super app. And I think this right here kind of contradicts what a lot of people like to tell me in terms of saying how the super app really changed ZBCN in any way, but I disagree with that. Now, nothing I say is financial advice, and later on I'm going to talk about my kind of hypothetical thought about 10 cents when it comes to ZBCN and what I think about that, because I'm still thinking about it. But here's the thing. When people like to tell me that the super app is useless, I disagree with that, because keep in mind, when it comes to fees, right, on the super app, what does it use? ZBCN. So that inherently gives more utility, I think, when it comes to ZBCN, in my opinion. Not to mention, the super app, it's powered by USDC. Why does this matter? Well, it's because Circle, which is the creator of USDC, is publicly listed, right? Not to mention, we've seen the strides they're making in regard to their blockchain, basically, which is called ARC. And by the way, Zebec not too long ago did join the ARC testnet. Furthermore, Circle is a backer when it comes to Zebec. They supposedly also hold quite a significant amount of ZBCN, by the way, allegedly. So when I take a look at that right there, I think the super app does give more meaning when it comes to Zebec overall, and more specifically when it comes to the utility of ZBCN. And also remember what Zebec mentioned not too long ago. They did mention about how revenue from the Zebec programs, it's going to be used to acquire ZBCN on open markets. And basically that's going to inherently reduce the circulating supply of ZBCN. So again, imagine if the Zebec programs start doing a lot better, and let's say it had good adoption, that inherently could maybe, as a result, right, reduce the circulating supply when it comes to ZBCN, which ultimately, in my opinion, of course, makes it, I think, better for the long term, because in order for ZBCN actually to reach 10 cents, considering its current circulating supply, the market cap would be around 9.8 billion, in which case, if let's say the circulating supply of ZBCN reduced around 96 billion. Now, at that point, to reach 10 cents, the market cap would now be around 9.6 billion, considering that supply, right? So I think that ZBCN moving forward, especially if the Zebec programs start doing a lot better, I think it would only be a pretty good thing for the future of Zebec, hypothetically speaking. Now, why is 10 cents still on my mind, right? Now, I just want to preface this. I don't really need ZBCN to ever reach 10 cents to be happy, but it wouldn't surprise me either. The reason why is because if ZBCN, first of all, could just go back to around a 500 million market cap, which we saw back in 2025, I'd already be happy, because we're around 2.5 times lower than that. However, some people out there seem to think it's kind of boring, which I kind of agree to a certain extent, because not everyone is dollar cost averaging right now anyways, and not a lot of people entered at a lower point when it comes to ZBCN. So let's just say we assume a different scenario, right? If ZBCN went to 10 cents, which were around 50 times lower than that, by the way, but I'm saying if it went to, again, 10 cents, the market cap, again, like I mentioned previously before, it would just be around 9.8 billion. And that's considering the current circulating supply of ZBCN. In which case, if we just assume for simplicity's sake 10 billion in terms of market cap, that's still around 4 times less than Shiba Inu's market cap at one point back in 2021. So it's not like this is such an outlandish market cap, in my opinion. When it comes to Zebec, sure, it's not as popular as like Stellar or Ripple or XDC. I'm totally aware of that, but we've seen like even memes far exceed around a 9.8 billion market cap. So I don't know if that sounds so outlandish to me, but that's just the way to take a look at it. Not to mention, I feel like Zebec is still planning things for the future, in which I am looking forward to, in my opinion at least, because if I take a look at, for instance, what they have done in terms of the super app and what they're kind of planning for the end of this month, which is the enterprise rollout, I think that's pretty cool, right? Because of course, a lot of people thought it was kind of useless and a lot of people didn't care about the super app, but I disagree with that. I think Zebec still cares about it. And quite frankly, I think it's like one of the top 3 things it's achieved historically ever, in my opinion. Number one, of course, I think it's having an aspect of ISO 20022. Number 2, I think it's probably acquiring GateKnox and ScienceCard UK, which they did not too long ago. And I think number 3 is arguably, again, launching the super app, which they already did, but they're still planning things moving forward in regards to that, like for instance, the enterprise rollout and all this type of stuff. So I still like the activity when it comes to Zebec overall. And the way I view it as well is that for me, right, isn't the lower something is, the farther the ceiling is? At least sometimes that's the way you take a look at it, hypothetically, in some cases. It's like, for instance, ZBCN as of right now, again, the market cap's around 200 million. So even if it just goes to like a 400 million market cap, we're already 2 times lower than that. If it goes to like a billion in terms of market cap, we're around 5 times lower than that. And here's the thing, we're around 5 times lower than a 1 billion market cap, right? But remember, Zebec's closest competitor, which is called XCN, that reached around a 1 billion market cap back in 2025. And here's the thing, they're both, as of right now, more or less kind of the same market cap. So if Onyx, or should I say XCN, Zebec's closest competitor, was able to reach around a billion in terms of market cap back in 2025, if ZBCN maybe just have replicated that and just went to that point, like again, for many other projects out there, going like 5 times like that, that's already considered.
So big shout out to Trini for Life. Zebec just announced a major partnership coming March 19th, which I think is Thursday? 18th, yeah, Thursday. Let's freaking go Zebec. And he is right. One of the most anticipated ecosystem partnership and global payments integrations with the Zebec community is almost here. Wait is almost over. New announcement coming on the March 19th. And generally, when they do one of these announcements, we know it is major because they always hype us up before just coming out with the ZBCN announcement. And I suspect this announcement is the partnership with XRP. So I don't know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think this is XRP? Because generally they hype us up if it is a big announcement. The XRP announcement we have been freaking waiting on. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. We've been waiting for or waiting on, but let me know in the comments. Anybody, everybody, somebody. Do you think this is the XRP announcement? But let me know in the comments and let's finish this video. Where were we? Think we actually let's click on this. I know you guys don't even like Lee anyway. So let's go to this guy.
Yeah, no, that's kind of like what we're really excited about
This
Circle, right?
is
Because
Crypto Spaces.
we consider ourselves like basically the one who's going to make USDC big.
What is this? ARG. I don't have Solana. In order to transaction ZBC and a tangent, I must have done something. It must be, yeah, it's got to be Solana. And Solana's pretty cheap. Just get I'd say $15 worth of Solana. It's not going to take much to move it over, right? It's pretty cheap, but I do think you'll have to get some Solana because ZBCN is on Solana and you're probably used to Ethereum, but this is on Solana. So pick some Solana up. It'll probably benefit you in the long run anyway. It's not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. And I actually have that jacket, which is cool. So shout out to Sam. Let's get back to this video.
Right, because let's say we do 10% of US payroll, we're not sending millions.
ZBCN XRP, let's freaking go. Okie dokie. No worries. But let's get back to the video.
We're not sending billions. It's going to be almost like $500 billion of money, like, being used, right? And that's when the real interesting use cases of USDC will start coming out, because then a lot of transactions will start happening on chain. A lot of these real like DeFi protocols will start to see real use cases, because that's now it's real users' money. It's not people chasing yields from one chain to another. It's people's day-to-day saving. It means it starts becoming real. The imaginary money starts to become real. Critical.
Here you go, from one of the ZBCN founders, one of right here, Sam, Zebec Network, one of the founders of ZBCN, one of the team members, very hardworking people, very intelligent people, explaining to you why Circle, USDC, be integrated or partnered with ZBCN, built into their super app, built into their card referral program, etc. Why DeFi is going to be so important. And we recently got, an announcement where ZBCN is also going to build out AI tools within the super app. So DeFi and AI, I think this is good. I don't know. I can be seeing the future sometimes. The only thing I can't see the future with is when the coins go up. I can see when the sectors and the narratives are going to present themselves, but I can't see when the coins go up. I wish I could see that. But I do see there's going to be a next sector in the space that explodes. ZBCN is already hitting the RWA narrative, or the sector of that, not just the narrative, because they've built out one of the best protocols in the RWA space with real world assets. But you know what's very interesting? A lot of people aren't talking about this, that, should have been headline news all over. Nobody's really talking about it. The BlackRock staking ETF for Ethereum. BlackRock ETH staking ETF is live. So now Wall Street, TradFi institutions, they're going to finally start to dip their toes or get into the ring of DeFi protocols. They're going to use it with the ETH staking ETF. And then they're eventually, in my opinion, going to spread out. They're going to be like, oh man, I'm earning so much yield, because these are the people with millions, hundreds of millions, billions, trillions of dollars, right? They're going to be like, I'm earning so much yield. 2% to somebody with 10 million, $100 million, 2%, 3% yield is going to be fantastic. 5%, 10% yield is going to blow them away. 15%, 20% yield is going to make them lose their mind, right? And this is the type of yield you get in crypto. It's only in crypto. 15%, 20% above that is only in crypto. No banks could provide that. None of the previous banking systems, TradFi, traditional finance systems could provide that, right? So this is where I think this sector, because this falls into RWAs as well. Because if you could put say for example, with ZBCN, their super app, there's staking, there's liquidity pools, etc. Like I said, they're also entering into AI as well and building out AI tools as well. You toss that into the, you give that or present something like this to corporate investors, TradFi, Wall Street, they're going to gobble that up, right? And I think ZBCN is highly positioned for where it's at right now for that, right? I'm also invested and looking into more projects like that fuse AI and DeFi together, right? I've covered, other projects like that on my channel as well. And when that sector starts to pop off, I want my clout tokens. I need my clout tokens, okay? I want people to say I heard it from crypto spaces first, because because I'm trying to get my channel to 100,000 subscribers. The more great calls I make, the more I grow, right? So this was a great video here from Sam, CEO, one of the founders of Zebec. This from 314 Crypto for finding the clip. Great clip, man. True visionary. On behalf of Zebec, we appreciate all you've done for this company. Great to see that, man. Here we go. Breakdown from Zebec. Deep dive into their AI update. Everyone in crypto is talking about AI agents that hire each other, run tasks, buy services, among other use cases, right? Because right now, AI agents, like I've said in videos, I cover AI agent infrastructure on the channel. I think those are my sectors, man. AI projects, RWA projects, and maybe, no, I don't even cover meme coins, right? AI projects, RWA projects. That's where I'm at. I don't cover meme coins. On the channel. So I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if meme coins will do well in the future again, right? Because I think retail is burnt out on memes. Just my personal opinion. So, you guys have already heard me explain AI agents. AI agents is basically like you set up some code, right? In LLMs, large language models, whether you use Claude, you use OpenAI, OpenClaw, Anthropic, you use any of these tools, right? And then you set up some code, you send it to do the task, and then it does the task autonomously while you sleep, right? You don't do anything. You go to sleep, you wake up, maybe you send it out to trade the market. You have an AI trading bot. You give it $1,000, and if your coding is good, right, and you have good code, you could go to sleep with $1,000 in the bot and maybe wake up to another 1,000. Over a week, you could wake up to another 5,000, 10,000, right, a month, because obviously AI can outperform us. It's clear as day, and we're just seeing this, advance. I just want to show you guys something. Pokemon Go, AI robots. So it's happening right before our eyes, man, that, things are changing dramatically. I don't want to be like, oh, AI and robots are going to take our jobs, but I mean, I'm seeing it. The proof is in the pudding, right? So Pokemon Go players unknowingly helped train delivery robots after generating over 30 billion real-world scans through the game. So remember this popular game? Everybody was going around walking all over the place to play Pokemon Go, catch Pokemon with their phones. So all that time, the company Anthropic, or Pokemon Go, the company, was collecting data to literally map out all of this, this information on the map, right? Every single nook and cranny with all these players that went all around the world, so they could then launch and take that data and use it into their delivery robots, right? AI autonomous delivery robots. You just put in the code and then you give it whatever it has to deliver, and then it does that. So what's going to happen to people that do DoorDash, Uber Eats? What's going to happen to those people if the autonomous robot, AI robot, is more cheap and it's more cost effective for the company? I'm just speculating here, but this is where we're headed, right? So crypto assets, crypto projects, I think need to definitely pay attention to this. So nobody's talking about the infrastructure they need to operate. Zebec is paying attention. So again, kudos to the team. They know exactly what they're doing here. Zebec's infrastructure can enable programmable payments for humans and AI agents. They have a breakdown as well. Agents need three things to function economically: funding, spend controls, payment rails. Without programmable money, agent economies are just demos. It's a fact. The ironic part, we didn't build Zebec for AI agents, but streaming payments, treasury controls, and programmable cards, originally built for real-time payroll, are exactly what agents need. Like CZ Binance and Brian Armstrong said, AI agents will more than likely outspend consumers because AI is, again, it's way more effective than average humans. I tell you, it's way more effective than the average person. They're more than likely going to out consume, as Brian Armstrong, CZ Binance said of Coinbase and Binance, right? They're going to be more consumers than the average people, than regular people. And if agents have wallets, Zebec Network sets up wallets for these agents, that's going to be revenue that the company Zebec generates, right? And us as stakeholders, holders of the project, benefit. That's how we benefit. So we set a budget once, define the rules, let the infrastructure enforce them. When agents become economic actors, they'll need programmable financial rails. That's what Zebec has already built. Great write-up. And obviously you can read the full article as well. Right here, this is the blog that you could go into. It's a great blog, guys. I definitely recommend you go through the blog and take a look. I try to make the videos not that long, and still time just flies by, man. Maybe in the next video, I'll just dedicate the video to going through the blog. So let me bookmark this, right? Zebec right now sitting at 202. 202 right now, holding this level. And you love to see that. As I've stated, I think DCA is the way to go. 100,000 ZBCN could be a great investment. Remember, nothing is guaranteed, so this is why I say could be. I think there's a high probability it's a good investment. Never invest more than you're willing to lose. Nothing what I say is financial advice. But as I stated, I see 5 cents, 10 cents, even up to 30 cents per ZBCN. Even on a long enough time horizon, maybe even $1 per ZBCN is possible. It is. As long as the team delivers, the community continues to grow, and everyone that is involved with the project has a finger on the pulse on where this world is headed and how you get, product market fit and how do you get people interested in ZBCN, right? So as always, none of this is financial advice. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, join my Discord, follow me on X, subscribe to my Clips channel. It really helps out. It really does, guys. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next.
So shout out to who's this? Crypto Spaces and the Zebec update. That was a pretty good video. Last video is crypto growth. We'll play this and shut it down for the day. Working on the XRP currently. I'm about to put the live stream up shortly. The Zebec and Anchorage digital partnership highlights how crypto projects are gradually connecting with regulated financial infrastructure. Whether it leads to large-scale adoption remains to be seen, but it's definitely interesting developments to watch the payment technology space. So let's run this last video and shut it down.
What is up, guys? In this coverage, we'll be talking about how Zebec's infrastructure is enabling programmable payments for humans and AI agents. We'll go through the adoption lane of Metallicus. We'll talk about the MasterCard and Chainlink partnership and the WASP license of Ripple in Brazil. It's going to be an interesting one, so let's start with Zebec. Look at this. This is a recent post over here by Zebec Network. Everyone in crypto is talking about AI agents. We covered AI agents in Algorand video, Hedera video, and as well as Stellar video, if you remember. Agents that hire each other, run tasks, buy services, among other use cases. But almost no one is talking about the infrastructure they actually need to operate. So, Zebec is providing that infrastructure apparently for the AI agents for financial solutions. Look at this. Much of the current discussion around AI agents focuses on what they will do: automate tasks, coordination workflows, and operate across digital markets. Far less attention is paid to a simpler question: how will those agents actually participate in the economy? And this is a just question. And a simple one, rather. For an agent to function beyond a controlled demo environment, it must be able to receive funding, spend within defined limits, and settle payments automatically. So this is where practicality come into play. So look at this. In practice, agents require programmable financial infrastructure that Zebec Network is bringing to the game. Look at this. Zebec originally developed streaming payment technology to modernize payroll. Instead of batch wage payments, Zebec allows compensation to flow continuously in real time. Employers can fund payroll streams automatically while maintaining treasury controls and visibility. So, an AI agent managing marketing operations, for example, could receive a streaming operational budget from a treasury wallet. Spend limits would restrict activity to approved services such as advertising platforms or analytics tool. From the looks of it, Zebec wants to provide that structure that base, that foundations for AI agents to maneuver and function smoothly. Payments would settle instantly through stablecoin rails. Agents may also begin earning income directly. Autonomous systems performing analytics, automation, or development tasks could receive streamed payments for work completed. So this is a reward-based mechanisms as well for the agents that are involved over here. They will get rewards and automatic payments. Zebec was not designed specifically for AI agents. Yet, the infrastructure built for real time payroll, streaming funding, treasury controls, and global payment rails happen to be exactly what the autonomous systems require. So, this is where the real economic activity happens and where AI agents can benefit. As we're seeing over here, ZBAC is doing much more than just being a infrastructure for AI agents. It is becoming that payment infrastructure, the payroll infrastructure as a whole. And AI agents can be a small part of that. As AI agents move from experimentation to production, the missing layer will not be intelligence, it will be financial infrastructure that ZBAC is bringing to the game. And this is the infrastructure that we are talking about. Look at this. AI, ZBAC, the financial layer for AI. We're talking about OpenAI, Microsoft, Tesla, self-driving payments. By the way, this is the potential of ZBAC in the future if they achieve what they want to achieve. Coinbase, autonomous treasury, AWS, automated cloud billing. We've got NVIDIA, pay for GPU compute. You can hire humans, stream revenue, allocate capital, pay for GPU compute. AI agents pay for compute, pay for data, pay for APIs, allocate capital, and whatnot. This is what ZBAC is bringing to the game. Look at this. Agents need three things to function economically: funding, spend controls, payment rails. Without programmable money, agent economies are just demos, not practically inclined to real world solutions and change. So, this is what ZBAC is bringing. Now, people have commented while many focus on the novelty of agents hiring each other, the underlying payment rails remain the most critical bottleneck. Your focus on treasury controls and streaming payments solves the actual operational challenges. So, this is what we are talking about. By the way, people talk about the price. Price, I think, lags behind the fundamentals. When the fundamentals are good, price eventually follows. But let's see. Building the behavior layer before the payment rails is the wrong build order. Different opinions. Autonomous agents are mostly an infra problem, pretending to be an interface problem. So this is the ZBAC update. Meanwhile, when we talk about Metallicus, look at this. Metallicus posted this recently. Michael Lawson of CU Broadcast sat down with Frank Mazza at GAC 2026. His message to credit unions on stablecoins: now you better be ready.
It's good. So we're kicking off today. It's going to be a much different year than last year. That's
Why is that?
So last year we came here. I don't think a lot of people knew who Metallicus was.
Mm-hmm.
We had the acquisition of CU Ledger, Bonafide, and we were just kind of getting into the credit union space. We were in the credit union space, but really just getting welcomed into it. Whereas like a lot of people weren't ready for the stable coins, digital assets.
Right.
Transform to this year.
Oh, now you better be ready.
I'll just say I go from like this year. After this, I go to like 5 straight through meetings with credit unions, and then tomorrow the same thing. So it is. We sent out like one notice, and it's like we all want to talk.
Wants to know. Everybody wants to know.
And it's more. It's just the industry, right? So that's not like a personal flex of Metallicus. Just the way that we've evolved as an industry. Credit union has evolved.
Indeed, crypto digital assets are evolving and Metallicus is flexing. Flexing by going to a Harvard Kennedy School casually. Look at this. a conversation on securing digital government, AI, blockchain, and the infrastructure of trust. Securing digital government. So, this is what we're talking about. Why now governments and financial regulators are confronting a rapid evolving digital landscape. Artificial intelligence is increasingly being used by financial institutions and public agencies for fraud detections, but at the same time, blockchain based systems are transforming digital payments, financial record keeping, and identity verification. This is what Metallicus is bringing to the game with Metal blockchain, XPR. Or Metal Pay, the infrastructure. So this is awesome. This is really great. You can check this out. Meanwhile, look at this. Metallica's partnerships aren't hype partnerships. It is a full adoption rail. We're talking about payment rails. We're talking about credit union distribution. We're talking about stablecoin plus compliance stack. The infrastructure layer, which is layered, Metal blockchain, Metal layer 2, XPR network, wallet rails, liquidity rails, plus settlement rails. Metallicus is a sort of that all in one ecosystem for solutions, for real world solutions. Token utility isn't abstract. We're talking about Metal, the fees staking security, XPR, gasless UX governance, DeFi activity, XMD, stablecoin payments, settlement remittances. So the utility is real and the adoptions are go way beyond hype. Look at this adoption and key partners: FedNow, the service provider; Go West Solutions; MDDC Credit Union Association; Cornerstone League; Investify financial organizations; global wallets and exchanges. So this is happening in real time. So what is the desired objective of the Metallicus ecosystem? We want the results. We're talking about real world usage, recurring revenue, supply reductions, ecosystem growths, and providing real world solutions in simultaneously, basically, guys. So this is awesome. Look at this. Metal blockchain is infrastructure for launching purpose built blockchains. Each subnet can run a different virtual machine. 169 validators. Every validator strengthens the network, securing Metal blockchain. This is what is happening. The ecosystem of Metallicus is growing. Meanwhile, this is a huge one. Look at this: MasterCard on Chainlink by Coin Bureau, the future of crypto in one tap. This is what Chainlink is bringing to the game. Look at this: the Chainlink infrastructure. We're talking about a DTCC, 2 quadrillion plus settlement; Swift, 11,000 banks; Coinbase, 110 million users; Robinhood, 27 million users; PayPal, 430 million users; Visa, 4.3 billion users; and MasterCard over here. Look at this: 3.1 billion users. Some projects directly involved with Chainlink, others indirectly. If you do not know, Canton has adopted Chainlink, and Canton is deep with DTCC, and Chainlink has its own associations as well. So this is great. Look at this. MasterCard powers payments for 3.5 billion plus cardholders worldwide. Chainlink enables them to buy crypto directly on chain. So, Chainlink has posted this. If you want to learn more about MasterCard's work with Chainlink, I opened this link and here we are. Look at this. Chainlink and MasterCard partner to enable over 3 billion cardholders to purchase crypto directly on chain. Imagine the possibilities and imagine the transaction value of MasterCard, and association with Chainlink can go a long way, guys. Look at this. And we quote, this is Sergey Nazarov, the co founder of Chainlink. This is the type of traditional finance and decentralized finance convergence that Chainlink was built to make possible. I'm excited about Chainlink's ability to enable this critical connection between the traditional payments world and the over 3 billion cardholders in the Mastercard user base directly into the next generation trading environments of on-chain decentralized exchanges. So this is great. Meanwhile, it has been great collaborating closely with Mastercard team on on this innovative implementation, as well as the teams at Swapper Finance, XSwap, Shift4, and Zero Hash. This was a complex and multi-layered collaboration, which I was thrilled to see the Chainlink community help make possible. Talking about the adoption, guys, this is real world adoption in real time. As adoption of crypto assets continues to grow, collaborations like the one between MasterCard and Chainlink are helping drive a new wave of user centric solutions. Now we're seeing MasterCard deeply involved with digital assets, crypto, and we've seen latest news on what MasterCard is doing. But Chainlink has already accomplished this a while back, association with MasterCard, so this is awesome. Meanwhile, look at this. Zarta has adopted the Chainlink data standard to power its real world asset lending markets. By leveraging Chainlink price feeds, Zarta enables reliable collateral and LTV calculations to secure lending markets around RWAs, BTC, and Ethereum. So, this is awesome. Chainlink is indeed making its own trajectory and way to becoming a global giant in the world of crypto, digital assets, connecting traditional finance, the legacy systems with the blockchain world. And how is it doing it? Look at this. Chainlink $28.6 trillion plus transaction value enabled. This is what we are talking about. By the way, people have their legit questions over here as well, which we cover. We do not shy from covering them. When do you plan on charging transaction fees? I'm sure Chainlink is playing the long game and I appreciate the strategy, but some clarity on when there is going to be an ROI for your token holders would be much appreciated. Any comment would be great. Someone has and they haven't replied, I think so, most spam comments, but this is a legit question over here, and in my opinion, slowly and gradually Chainlink will increase its use cases and value for the holders as well. So coming to Ripple, this one is great and huge as well. Ripple deepens commitment to Brazil with expanded payments offering, growing customer momentum, and VASP license application. So this is what is required, the WASP license to maneuver illegally in Brazil, and that is what Ripple is doing. Look at this. Ripple also plans to apply for a virtual asset service provider license with the Central Bank of Brazil. So, what will it do? This will be a solution that will enable Ripple to perform and function in Brazil rather easily, compliantly, in a regulatory manner. Look at this. In line with the country's new virtual asset regulatory framework, it will reinforce the compliance first approach that has guided Ripple's global operations for over a decade and its commitment to long term growth in the region. Meanwhile, Ripple, the leading provider of blockchain based enterprise solutions across traditional and digital finance, today announced a major expansion of its presence across Brazil. I would like to add one more thing over here. Wherever XDC network basically is trying to function, we saw the SBI holding news, Japanese news, we saw Ripple make its presence there as well. Then we saw Ripple come to Brazil, and we have already seen XDC network expanding its use cases in Brazil. So you see, we're not trying to say that XDC, XRP, they're collaborating, but some connections are there. Not direct, but when one project goes to a certain region and makes them assure that blockchain can provide true real world solutions, I think this paves the way for other good projects as well, the ones that we cover. So this is really good. Any project doing anything in any region of the globe, I think that it will pave a way for the other projects as well, and it will mark a new chapter of institutional digital asset adoption across the globe, and in this case, in one of the world's fastest growing financial markets, that is Brazil. This is powered by new product capabilities and accelerating customer adoption. Ripple is now the only solution in the region capable of serving institutions across the full spectrum of financial needs, from cross border payments and digital asset custody to prime brokerage and treasury management. This is what we're talking about. Brazil are utilizing Ripple to solve real world liquidity and payments challenges. Banco Genial, Ripple powers same day USD disbursements for Banco Genial. Braza Bank, one of Brazil's largest FX institutions by volume, Braza Bank has selected Ripple payments to streamline USD payments and issued its BRL-pegged stablecoin BBRL on the ledger. XRP Ledger, Nomad, the Brazilian fintech serving over 3 million users, leverages Ripple payments and its liquidity network. Azify, the Brazilian fintech that embeds financial services infrastructure, is now using Ripple payments. This is great. Atrus, a leading LATAM payments firm leveraging Ripple for fast, compliant cross-border payments in Brazil, is also making use of the Ripple ecosystem. Frente Corretora, an FX institution consolidating cross-border operations and stablecoin collections onto a single platform. So this is what we're talking about. So, folks, what do you guys think about all these projects making waves in the utility sphere? Chainlink, MasterCard associations, Ripple expanding in Brazil. What do you guys think about Zebec's human and AI agent solutions and Metallica's ecosystems adoption lane? Do let the community know.
This is Crypto Growth. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. What up, Pip? Where you been, bro? Thanks for joining. And as always, we're shutting it down. Pip, where you been? But we're gonna be doing a XRP live stream at 3 o'clock. So come back and join us for that as well. But appreciate your support. And don't forget to sign up for the BTM Crypto News Network. And as always, let's get back to the money, guys, and stay dangerous. It's your main man, BTM, signing out. Let me see here. Let me see. Where is it? Just want to scroll back through, make sure we didn't forget anything. Okay, this is. If you enjoyed the discussion today, make sure you like the stream, subscribe for more crypto content, and share the screen with as many people as you can so they can join the conversation. And thanks for being here. As always, it's your main man, BTM, signing out. Thanks for joining, and Miners out.